lanes. It's very popular in higher elo.
Alright.
Getting popularity. It's like how Zach lane would like Zach mid would like ditch his lane half the time and play the map. Okay, I am ready to tell
Okay.
people how they should think about League of Legends.
Yeah.
And if they're not the same as me or you, they are fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And I will not take any questions or comments about what is correct about League of Legends.
You sure?
They can ask questions, I'll just tell them they're wrong.
It's like, hey, what do you think about this person? And like, you're fucking wrong. That's it. You're cut off.
Oh, I think Rise should be S tier because Riot Games likes that champion is gonna get buffed soon. Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Alright, so this is the mid lane tier. We have Broken AF, Better Shit, Good Shit, Average Joe, Don't Play This, and Forget About It. Meaning, it don't belong here. It should never belong here. Okay? Those should never belong here. Alright, that's what we're going with. So we have Talia as the first pick.
Talia's the first pick.
Me, preferably, and stuff. I think if you get ahead on Talia, it's really good, but it's really dependent on who you're playing against. I think, realistically, I think it belongs in Good Shit. It's not in a terrible spot. You can go First Strike on it, Dark Harvest, and you'll be fine. The first couple of levels like 5 and under and stuff, are kind of dog shit because you don't have that big of a wave clear yet, but I would probably put it in Good Shit.
I think we'll start out putting it in good shit. And then based off who we put over her, I don't know, maybe put her down to top of Average Joe. But I think she's pretty solid.
I think it's pretty solid, especially with the fact that she can roam so easily and heavily. Like she can auto shove a wave. She waits like 5 seconds, her abilities are back up, and she's roaming in the middle of this, right? Or like 7 seconds for, I think, her W.
And I think the changes to her Q, where she can pick up the ground and like reset it, really helped her ability to play lane for a lot of like less skilled people. I think in like the highest, in like Masters Plus, I don't think it really impacted much. It just made it a lot easier to play the champion.
You can Q and stuff. Wait 3 seconds, get that fast Q off, and like your another Q is gonna be back up with the burst, right? It's very fast, and where it like goes. Like what you shoot the Q, you're up, your downtime's 3 seconds. You do a big explosion rock, and then you wait like 2 seconds. Your Q's already back up, so you can like it's basically spammable. It's really good. Graggy Boy. I think Graggy Boy actually sucks.
You think he sucks?
I think his AP scalings are really nice right now, with all the items, I will say. But the thing that pushes me away from like mid lane would be he thrives better in the top lane and jungle. Granted, he's still good. I think he's below Talia in the good shit. I will actually put him below Talia in the good shit. I don't think he's higher than Talia.
Okay. No, I definitely think he's in good shit. And then I think when you hit like pro play and like
I think it's better.
Plus, I think he's like better shit. And then based off the team composition, he could be broken as fuck. If your team comp needs structured, front to back, we set things up, we execute. Gragas is so good at like not allowing you to do the execute part and disrupting the whole game.
Yeah, disrupting. That's a perfect way to put it with his ultimate and stuff at the higher elo, and people actually know how to use his ultimate.
Yeah, and also I think it's harder to put below good shit with how good his lane phase is too. It's hard to push him out of lane. He can play into almost anyone in the game and like survive, never die, and then just do massive amounts of damage. Even if you don't know how to set up the combo, you can just throw the ultimate and get value. In some cases, sometimes you can screw your whole team over too.
I think Gragas, the only reason why I would put him lower on the list right now and stuff is because I feel like a lot of the champs that are like good right now are very like high like burst champions and can continuously punish him in lane phase since he is melee.
Yes, but I think he has good wave clear with the Q, and then the passive just keeps him healthy a lot of the time.
That's true.
So it's really hard to like make him base or make him, have bad base timers. He can always usually get to his catalyst if he wants to lower and get Lost Chapter in a lot of the games without much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he gets those two items, he just kind of sits in your face. And then if there's ever an objective fight, he's like always there, ready to go.
So next we have Talon, dude. How good his level 3 is just really insane and stuff for people who don't know how to play against Talon and stuff, especially at a low like elo and stuff. But I would put him here. I put him at average Joe. He can get pushed out of lane so easily, and like if you dodge his like shuriken ability,
his W.
Yeah, his W.
For sure.
Like he becomes ineffective, it feels like, for the next like what 10 seconds, 7 seconds, whatever the cooldown is.
Yeah, he has no poke threat, he has no way to kill you. Yeah, I like him in the average Joe for like a generalized tier list.
Yeah,
If we were doing like high elo only, like he could be broken as fuck. The amount of mobility he has, with more skill on the champion, you get your passive off really quickly, like often, and you're always dealing a lot of damage. You may not one shot someone, but you're putting them at a threshold they don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah,
and that's just as good. But for like the generalized player base, Talon just pretty meh for most people.
Yeah.
You need to have so much Talon knowledge and matchup knowledge to make this champion really work in most cases.
I think the fact that like he can basically go even in lane for like until level 3, auto shove the wave, just fucking push that shit super hard and just invade the jungle if he knows the jungle path, and that's just like a fucking free kill.
Yeah, and like Gragas' passive is like always consistent healing, where Talon needs the Q minions and kill them to get the healing from his Q, and it's like maybe an auto with the healing back. So like you're also giving them an auto to get the Q off in most cases. So it's pretty tough to sustain in a losing matchup with this guy if you can't just straight up walk on him.
Yeah. Next we have Diana, which I think she's above Talia. With this speaking of like her the fact that she can shove most people out of lane, has sustain, has the mobility, and she doesn't lose her value throughout the entire game, right? Her value could switch between, she can auto shove waves, she can team fight, she can basically be there to disrupt the enemy team for ultimate combos, and like even split pushing, soloing, 1v1s and stuff. There's honestly, I could probably put her in better shit, right? But what?
I do like, it's either I do like her in the good shit category or the better shit category. Both are fine with me. I think if like a generalized champion, Diana kind of does it all for herself. She kind of has poke. She's got the shield and the gap close. The ultimate's great for team fights. Set up your team, or you can just one shot somebody. And then if all else fails, your entire team's 0-16, you can hit that Nashor's tooth, run to a side lane, and you're like a really fast turret taker in the game.
Yeah,
and if they disrespect your backdoor potential, she can do so much.
Yeah, especially with the passive. Yeah. Especially with the passive, just use an ability and have that increased auto, and then that third auto also, that cleave.
Yeah.
Super fucking insane. Sure. Super insane.
As a generalized champion, Diana kind of has it all, which is really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like Cho'Gath up on the list later, but yeah, especially the fact you can go AP, you can go Bruiser, you can go full tank and stuff, and still be viable to the team.
She's kind of an all-arounder.
Yeah. Next we have Echo. I don't think he...
So, like, this champion's always hit or miss, one of those feast or famine type of champions. If he's not one-shotting you, he doesn't feel like he has that much impact in most situations.
Yeah, he has to be super far ahead in the early game, or he just has to, like, if he's going electrocute, he has to be far ahead and stuff. He eventually scales. If he has Dark Harvest and stuff, he could outscale and just pop people. but I would still put him above Talon in average Joe. I don't think his potential lies specifically in mid lane. It's I
Yeah,
probably
no, I agree with you. I think it's similar to talent. You gotta have so much more knowledge and champion mastery to make this champion actually pop in a lot of games. Not just like in the damage, but like really good echo players know how to use the W to choke out space or to get big man stuns.
yeah.
They ult at good timing until they ult into the W to like catch people off guard and get stuns that way. So there's a lot of stuff you gotta know how to do and know how to micro for the champion to really be effective. And I think as a generalized champion, he's kind of weaker in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we have a hard one to decipher on this one. Zed. Why I say it's hard is because it's like Yasuo and Yone and a bunch of like these higher skill gap champions where like
He's assassin champion for
if
sure.
if you know how to play it and stuff, it's very fucking good, right? But if you are just average or if you're having a bad game and stuff, you can't play the rest of the game. And that just like for example, like Talon, like he gets shut out early and stuff like that, he can't play the game. It don't matter if he's coming back or not, he can't play the game. I would probably put Zed in the better shit of the potential that Zed could have on the map.
I think his base kit is also like so much more forgiving than like a handful of the other assassins.
Yeah, with the
Like how
shadow
many times
clones.
have you been fighting Zed? He tries to throw 3 shurikens at you, you dodge all of them, but you die to his auto attacks anyway because they ramp up and pop you in the head. It happens, you know, a handful of times to me as the AD carry player. Um, but like I think his kit is fairly straightforward. Not a high level, intense micro stuff is hard to pull off,
Mm-hmm.
but in general, allow people to know, oh, I throw down the W, I get extra a cast of abilities, and if you know the one Z combo, you W on the guy's forehead, you E to get the slow, then you can double shuriken him. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff without much knowledge of the champion, and you can like poke out lanes. You can kind of create a little bit of space for yourself, and it's a little bit more playable.
It's more forgiving, definitely, especially with the shadow clones. The fact that you can, like, if you're in a tough spot, you can always shadow clone out. Like, obviously, it's gonna be hard in some scenarios and stuff with the with the travel time of the shadow clone and you hitting the button and everything, the processing. But still, like,
Yeah, like you throw a W behind you and then you ult on a guy, like you can still take that W back wherever you're at after you try to kill that guy. So you can jump 2 screens away for like not no effort. Silco. I don't even need to talk about Silco. He's the mastermind. Best character in the video game. He is so good, Riot Games will not let you play him. That's how good he is. We know
he
all.
he knows all. We know all. All right, so this one's more of your expertise on this guy, ass hat bro,
Oh, my nickname for him, AK Sean.
AK Sean.
AK Sean.
I don't think he's good. I think he's specifically played in certain matchups. It's more like I feel like a counter pick, but I don't think I don't really. Obviously, with the new items that came in and stuff, he's gonna be a little bit better than what he was previously, right? But I don't think he is. I think he's more of an average Joe. I think behind Talon, honestly. I think he's kind of brain dead.
Yeah, I think with um, yeah, it's hard because this champion has so much in his kit, and since he has so much in his kit, his numbers are low, and I think we're gonna get a lot of heat. I think he belongs in average Joe, even though according to the stats, he's doing all right. Um, but I think this champion, yeah, don't play that as your champion. Don't do that. AK Sean, like, for him to actually kill you, like, be a threat, he needs 2 items minimum. And, like, sure, you can be a lane bully, you can stop the lanes pretty good. But for, like, most cases, most games, most players, you're not going to make him work. He's harder than he looks, I swear to God. And he has so many micro interactions, like, you gotta stay close to the wall and stay invisible. Once you hit something, you break it like normal. You can hop off your rope at the wrong time, miss the kill, your ultimate's blocked by everything in the game. So he's basically tied to his passive and his mobility from the hook. And I think it's harder to pull off. I think when he gets ahead, it's like playing against a Twitch or an Evelyn. You got to respect that he can be anywhere on the map. But in a handful of cases, he's just not that guy.
He's just not that guy.
Like,
Yeah.
Talon can be that guy, but most time he's not that guy.
Yeah, I understand what you're coming from, and I think the only issue is why I would put him so low compared to like anywhere up higher and stuff, and put him in the average Joe, is because like, even if he's doing good, right? 1 CC, this guy's dead. This guy has no armor. He has no armor, no resistances. He's one of the squishiest motherfuckers in mid lane. I swear. It's just
Also, just to be extra safe with this Akshan pick, I did a quick click through of the ranks, and it's very clear that the better you are at the game, the better the champion is operating. And the lower you are, you're not winning games. You have a negative win rate if you're under plat.
oh
So
goddamn.
so if you have to be a plat level player just to win half your games on this champion is it's hard.
Dog shit.
It's not.
It's dog shit.
Yeah, you gotta know so much more about the game and about the champion for this guy to actually pop.
Yeah,
And I
if
think
any-
on a
if any
generalized
ass-
list,
Asshat, people are fucking who made this guy or watching this stuff. This guy is dog shit. I'm sorry. Not really.
well, I gave you everything, and now they're too afraid to touch you. I'm sorry.
It's like a collie. All right, we have Nico with the new stuff that's
Holy fuck!
This one's interesting, right? Obviously, I used to main Nico. I used to be really fucking good, higher up on the Nico charts and stuff. And me understanding this champion and stuff, like they didn't really do much. They didn't really change anything around and stuff. I think that they improved her ultimate in a way of like where it knocks up the champion, so they can't really flash away as soon as like the ult's going up in the air, right? Which is really good. It's really good for her, right? And the fact that her bursts and everything are essentially the same. And the only thing else I would include, or that is different, obviously, if anybody's playing League and is becoming annoyed with Nico, is obviously she can change it to like basically anything, right? Now, in my perspective, in mid lane, it ain't that good. I'm sad to say it, but it ain't that good. I think it's more of an average Joe. I'll put it above Echo because of the team fight. But
Now, I'm going to stop you right there, and I'm gonna say, I don't want Nico lower than good shit. For the amount of bullshit that this champion does, if she turns into a melee creep and walks in first on the wave, you're not gonna have any idea which one's the melee creep. And like the small things that she can do, in essence, and like gank side lanes, and if you are lower than diamond, okay, you're not gonna recognize it half the time, even more, and you're just gonna die easily. I was watching last night. All the former pro players, Scarlet, Iris, Boy, they played into a Nico who turned into a cannon minion. And then right before the team fight, turned into a range minion inside of a stacked wave. And they said, I don't know where Nico is. And then she got a quadra kill. And these guys were former professional players.
so the only reason why in stuff Nico would be that high is simply because of the new change to her passive, right? But I'm talking about I'm talking about mid lane, right? Because like I feel like Nico is more perfectly in like support role where she can actually roam and do that stuff on a constant basis, or the jungle even do that on more of a consistent basis where she can do that and stuff.
I think her mid lane's alright. I think you got a good wave clear with the pop blossom.
I think it's
at
still the
certain
same
points.
as where she was previously in mid lane. Nothing's really changed along with other than the knockup with the ult. And that is she's basically a C tier, right?
Well, I think I gotta tie in the changes too.
Yeah, like of course,
To the
like she
overall
can
aspect of the
she's
champion.
she's gonna in the middle of lane phase and stuff, she's gonna switch, rotate, and become that cannon minion, range minion, melee minion and stuff probably about 2-3 times, right? If the person's actually rotating, right? If they're playing Nico right. And I think that I think it belongs in between good shit and average shit. If I could put it somewhere, I would probably put it there. I wouldn't put it higher. I wouldn't put it higher in the good shit section. But
If we were talking exclusively high elo, I think she's much better
yeah, I think
in that sense because they're way more creative, and they know like
they know. Well,
yeah.
the thing is, like, we're talking about the average player base, right?
Right.
And if we're talking about higher elo players and stuff, they're gonna know back times. They're gonna know the best case scenarios, when the shove lanes, when the rotate, when the go in and flank somebody and everything like that and stuff. Where Nico could be up higher and stuff on the good shit, and maybe on a low tier on better shit, but average player and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't think they understand wave management as much as someone who is higher up, and just rotations and back times, and when to actually like rotate for ganks and all that. So that's why I'm putting it in. I'll leave it at good shit and stuff, but yeah. Next we have a Kali. This one's a fun one. This one Ryan doesn't want to touch. Also, like, Action. And I'm gonna put it in better shit.
You're gonna put it in better shit.
And I'm gonna put it higher up in better shit.
You're gonna put it higher than that. For the average player to play this champion?
For the average player to play this champion, yes. Right? Because, like, it's the same reason why Zed's up there, right? The mobility on the champion, the dashes, the E to escape, the shroud, and the fact that it doesn't take mana and stuff, if the person's on a roll with a Kali in a game, it is hard to take them down. Like, if you go to take them down and stuff, you're still losing 2 or 3 of your people. Like, it's really hard. Like, you cannot, like, depending on who it is, not a lot of people in mid lane can 1v1 outside of lane phase and stuff if that person has more than, like a decent amount of kills. It's really hard. And speaking of this, the people who are really good in the mid lane right now, like, I feel like a lot of it is controlled by control mages. And just mages in general. I think Akali thrives in that era. Like, obviously assassins are gonna fucking shit on control mages, but I think, yeah, better shit. Hands down. No questions asked.
Questions asked?
Nope. We don't question it. Oh.
I'll ride with it.
You better.
Yeah, don't play this.
Simple.
Don't play this.
Simple. Next is Ari.
Alright, my personal opinion on Ari, I think she is quite good. I think she might be in better shit tier. I played several Ari games recently, and they've all felt really nice. Once you buy Lost Chapter, and you have 4 points in the queue, usually in my experience, you buy Lost Chapter because it's 1100 gold. You get back at like level 7. Maybe level 5. Lost Chapter.
You can get Lost Chapter at level 5.
Right. When you initially buy it, your queue one-shots the back minions. And then usually you need level 9 to get maxed out queue. Once you get maxed out queue, it will always one-shot the back minions for the rest of the game. And all you need is a Lost Chapter. So the ability to wave manage is so much easier. Your ultimate is a reset ability. And you're just dashing 3 times minimum in the team fight. Usually you're picking one guy off with your charms. So now you have 4 to reposition. And if your teammates are in any position to win the fight, you can just solo swing it in that point.
Yeah,
and
especially
I think her build paths are really good.
Yeah, her build paths are really good, and the fact that I think, yeah, I would agree that Ari is in better share now. Well, I actually played it actually the other day with you and Drake and stuff, and the fact that you don't have to flash, you can basically, the resets and the ultimate and stuff basically are a flash, and like, it's not as punishing just to ult in, charm, Q, W, ult out, right?
Yes.
Like, it's not that punishing. And if you fail, you mess up and stuff, it's fine. You can just ult back out. You're still safe. You don't take that much damage. Unless it's like Annie, for example, and you just get fucking shit on. But
yes, if you haven't played Ari since the changes, go do that.
Go do it. It's fun.
Before, when you played Ori, it was so stressful because you had to ulti in, and you had one ultimate to hit the charm, or two, because your third one was either we're getting out, or if I'm going in, we have to win the team fight.
Yep.
Now it's like I can ulti in for positioning, and make them look at me, and then start trying to dodge my taunt or my charm, and then I can ulti in to get the charm, and then I can ulti back out to get the damage, and then when we kill that guy, I can ulti to reposition the third time, or just deal more damage. And it just feels like way more relaxed to play, and you have so much more impact.
Yeah, it's super super relaxing, super fun to play. As Michael said, I would actually recommend it. And of all the champions, I think that someone should be playing right now to climb in ranked or just have fun in like
She is one
a
of them.
lower. Ari's up there. She is super super fun, super fun. Now here's a good one. Here's a good one. Rumble. The lane bully himself in mid lane.
The lane bully himself, the terrorizer of the Rift,
Dude, the rumble in the jungle.
the Yordle mech. Um,
This
I
one's
think
hard.
it's tough.
I think
Still,
it's hard.
I think he's really good in top lane because he usually gets that slight range advantage
Yeah.
on the melee people up there. In the mid lane, he does struggle a bit against the range matchups, and it's hard to be that lane bully you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's either higher end of the average Joes, or he's in the good shit category somewhere, in my opinion.
I would actually put him up here. I think
can see it.
Nico's down more and stuff. I actually like Rumble.
Nico is only in good shit because the playmaking she has
Yeah.
with her new passive.
Yes.
Not so much that I actually think her abilities are like as impressive.
I mean, they are, but they are. But yeah, especially Rumble, especially like if you're finding like anywhere like two or more people and stuff, especially like you have your team right there. Rumble ulti is just so fucking essential to the game. The fact
Yeah,
that you just
Rumble too. It's like the whole game now revolves around the Rumble Ultimate.
yes, yeah, you were so impactful in the game and stuff. Like, it's yeah, I think he belongs in good shit. Anivia. Now this one's fun, right? I played it the other day and stuff, and dude, you did not respect the damage,
What do you mean I did not respect the damage?
dude. I told you that this shit is fire, dude.
Dude,
And
okay, so don't get me
Anivia
wrong,
smacks.
okay? I'm actually a big Anivia fan. I'm an Anivia fanboy, secretly. I think she is insane right now in the game. They brought back Archangels, and then they have a lot of ages, and like, you didn't have to go a lot of ages. You want to go more damage, you can build the Ludens, you can build Leandries, and it's fine. Lot of ages, I think, is the most common build path.
It's the best
And-
build path.
Well, I agree. But when you use the ultimate, you drain yourself of mana, and every time you do that, a lot of ages is going to heal you on top of it. And with Archangels, you got a 3,000 mana pool. You're gonna sit in a team fight for 20 minutes, and you're going to deal 10,000 damage. And your amount of zone of control is crazy. Your lane is good, and you're like almost on tower dive. Both they gotta kill you twice.
Yeah,
I think the champions are very good all around it. They gave us so much love this season with the item changes.
I give her so much of my love. What? Nothing.
So Koki,
So no, Nivea is actually really fucking good. I mean,
no, I think she's insane.
it's really good. If you guys like control mages and stuff, give Nivea a try if you guys haven't done it this season yet. It's a lot of fun.
The thing with Ollie is Ollie's like the guaranteed playmaker, and she's really good at snowballing really hard. And Nivea is really good at her zone of control,
Yeah,
and she
Ari's-
can have really big impact.
so Corky.
I'm under the impression if you don't play this champion, this champion is in such a terrible spot right now, in my opinion. He has no love from the items. His kit is always going to be weaker in most cases because he does 80% magic damage on auto attacks. So they have to balance him around differently. And then his package is better than Rumble Ultimate. The only reason you'd ever play the champion is for package. And in my opinion, when you play Quirky with package, you're going to get the package 1 minute before the dragon spawns, or 1 minute afterwards. You need to negotiate with your team and hold out to pick up the package until you guys are going to go for the dragon. Because if you can sync this package cooldown, it's 5 minutes long, same as dragon. If you can sync it up together, you can really force these objectives. And I think in coordinated play is the only spot I think it works. And even then, it's like an average Joe. And you're using it for that 5 minute timer, and the occasional poke that you probably get more poke off with a different champion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can agree with all those statements and stuff. I like Corki a lot and stuff. So like obviously like Nico and stuff, it's got like a little sentimental attachment and stuff like that mid lane. But like I wouldn't play him right now. Me personally, I would not play it. Then we have Brand. We're not talking about this. We have Brand.
I think for the average player who, like, don't look at sentiment. You're not gonna have any impact. You gotta know how the champion operates, and you gotta know his matchup. To play Sid, you have to really know your matchups really well.
That's some high elo shit right there, my guy.
Yeah, if you're Diamond Plus and you play mid lane and you're like, I'm gonna try something for fun, play Singe mid. I think it has merit actually, but for the average player base and the average champions who should go mid,
don't
think about it.
Don't think about it. Now, Brand, I'm gonna put in the same category as Corki. Don't play Brand in mid lane.
No. I think it's actually better. I'll take an average Joe. I'll put in the average Joe. I think you know how much I like this champion.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody's gonna like him, right? Because it's like Brand and stuff. Yeah, like he's dog shit a lot of the time and stuff, but he's super fun to play and stuff, and super like easy to play. Other than like if you fucking miss your Q, game's over. But especially with the passive and stuff, it's like Karthus, right? It's super fun to play Brand and stuff. You're basically just a walking nuke. But the thing why I would put him in don't play versus anything up and stuff is it just feels like it takes him so long to get online in mid lane.
Mythic item to really start popping off.
Well, mythic item, yes, right? But like essentially I would like to get him with mythic, boots, and then rallies, and like you're golden, right? Then you can start pressing the wave, you can start playing how you want to play the game and stuff. It's just like, how long is that gonna take you to get there? But
yes,
but that's yeah, that I wouldn't do that, and boom.
So if everyone
Boom.
who was watching and Zach put Andy in broken as fuck and we didn't say anything about it and I didn't say anything about it, we are both active attendees to the Church of Annie. Annie is the best champion in the game right now. If you don't play this champion and you like your LP, what are you doing as a mid lane player? Yeah. This champion has been actually really insane since they reworked the Tibbers to be more active inside the game, and you can put shield on that guy. For build paths, you have like 7 different AP build paths. Zach and I think we agree on different ones. We both agree this champion is absolutely insane.
Wait, where do you go? Where do you go for your build path? You go Leandri's?
I go Leandri's Rallies every game.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Leandri's Rallies. I think you get insane value with your shield and your Tibbers.
What you go Electrocute, don't you?
No, I usually go Comet so I can take Scorch and Mana Flow.
Oh, okay.
And then I can take Ultra Hunter in the secondary. Yeah, that's how I usually play it.
I like to if I know I'm playing in higher elo and stuff and playing it's like a Masters or like Diamond and stuff, I will go probably Comet or Electrocute. But like if I'm playing like some Bronze or just Plat and lower, dude, I'm going Dark Harvest and I'm either gonna go fucking Hextech Predabelt or I'm gonna go Ludens. Because I'm going to one shot anybody who comes into my facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like even if you're even like why I would put it in broken and stuff is like if you go even in lane, you won the game. If you lost in lane and stuff, it doesn't matter. You're still a stun bot. You're still gonna be super good with the team, right? If Ari's behind, dog shit. Anybody else is like behind and stuff in this game, they're dog shit. You still have the potential to actually provide for your team as a stun bot and do so much for your team. It's like Malzahar, right? You can do so much for your team and stuff if you have your ultimate. But like Annie's just so much better in that perspective because like she can always stun somebody.
And usually it's groups of people.
Yeah.
If you know how to pilot the Annie, you can use your W to stun multiple people. You can have big AoE damage, and your Tibbers is always just annoying. You can go one shot burst, and like the guy that didn't get one shot, and you're sending Tibbers to sick him down in a team fight, that's just annoying. Because he has to hit your Tibbers or he's going to lose 3/4 of his life bar to Tibbers.
Yep. Tippers alone, right?
And you only one shot someone, so in a 4v5 situation, you're putting one guy at 3/4 HP, or at a quarter HP, in a 4v5.
Yeah, it's good. We'll just leave it at that. If you have not tried us out, and if you want to climb your ranks, Annie's the way to go. It's very simple. She's never banned. It's always going to be open, because people just don't expect the raw damage and the raw potential that it has, like that is with.
I think it's a mindset thing. Annie's been in the game since the beta, I believe.
And they want to play all these newer and high
They
champions.
played against Annie 1,000 times. But Annie always has value since the day she's been released. She's always been good. And especially on a generalized mid lane tier list, she's very safe. You can Q farm the whole time, not lose mana. And she has the second longest auto attack range in the game. Mm-hmm. She's right behind Caitlyn in auto attack range. So if you want to auto trade with someone, 90% of these players wouldn't even be able to hit you back if you was auto walk away. Pretty good.
And then I don't even know if we have. I don't even think we have to say anything about this champion. I really don't. I think if you guys don't know why A-Soul is in Broken AF and stuff, I think you've been living under a rock recently.
I still think he's Broken AF. He's now tilting to the better shit category.
Yeah, with the nerfs and stuff. Yeah,
the two back-to-back nerfs. Now, both nerfs on their own were not very hindering, but both together. I played A-Soul today, and I'm playing to a Masters mid lane RE player, and I smoked her ass. But that doesn't matter. The champion does feel a bit weaker, especially in the early game. And you have to understand the champion mechanics and use your flight more to get maximum value. But once you know how to sit in lane and you can farm in front of your opponent and like make them cry because they can't walk past your zone of control, and you just eat the whole wave in front of them, and then you just sit there and you dance and make a fidget spinner in their face, like what are they going to do about it? You're going to walk in at 25 minutes with your gargantuan ultimate that knocks up all 5 people no matter what, because you're not missing that, because you're all good at the game. Y'all can hit 5 people that Mondo ultimate, and the 5 people are knocked up, they take 3/4 of the health and damage after you're done with your rotation, and you basically win a team fight. It's like an auto win team fight, but
it literally it's an auto win people for it. So even if you miss the stun everything, you don't stun like half the team, right? You're still hitting the front 2 people or the side 2 people, whoever you're fucking hitting, right? You're gonna immediately put that down. You're gonna get the upgraded ultimate down. You're gonna hit everybody on the field. Then you're gonna put your black hole down and your fucking laser beam bullshit. Those 2 people are dead. And then all you have to do is, if you wanted to chase down, you can actually chase down everybody else on the field after that. Especially like when the team fights are happening, 20 minutes after 20 minutes and stuff, it doesn't matter and stuff. You're gonna have 3 items. A-Soul is so fucking good. He is so fucking good, especially later in the game.
His black hole is more intimidating than Nivea ult half the time.
Yep.
No one's walking in that field at all, and then it just gets bigger throughout the game. And I think on release, A-Soul was like on Silco level of Nutsoid levels of.
Don't know about that.
I mean, okay. Well, let's say like Nilko's passive is that Yumi Nexus explodes as soon as the game starts. So, A-Soul was like right behind that. I wish I should have clipped it on release A-Soul. I 100-0 to Mundo and Udyr, who are 5 items deep. And half of them are magic resist items, and I 100-0'd them in one rotation combo, the same combo. That champion was Nutsoids broken. But now I think he's more tameable, but I don't see how you stop this man from stacking and getting massive in the late game.
Alright, we're gonna have to go a little bit faster on the rest of this stuff because we don't want a fucking another hour-long video.
Oh, we don't.
No, we don't want another hour-long video. All
We
right, so
just love talking about League of Legends, so
yeah,
get lost.
so Cho'Gath. Honestly, I put him in good
I'll
shit.
let you rank them and then we'll discuss.
Honestly, I would put him in good shit and stuff because it. Usually, if I'm playing Cho'Gath, I'm playing him because we need a tank or somebody AP that has more health because everybody else is gonna be squishy. And the fact that it's like a Diana in a sense of like you can go AD, you can go AP, you can go health, like you can go tank and stuff, and it's super fucking viable and stuff. Especially if you're gonna go AP in the mid lane, like you knock them up and stuff, and then you Everfrost, those guys are dead. There's nothing they can do about it. Especially if you go Comet, like there's two Qs and stuff. They're under half. Don't matter who they are, they're under half. If you're going AP, it's really fucking good.
I'm actually surprised you didn't put him in better shit. 'Cause I know how much you like this champion.
I don't
I
like him as much as more that I like people other than him and stuff. I think he's really good in there. I think you can get punished super easily and stuff early game, but
I also think it's hard to push him out of the lane with his passive. He
yeah,
has so much innate healing when he gets the kill to creeps. And I think Zach mentioned the Everfrost build path. I think that build path is insane. You have two options. One is you hit the rupture on an AD carry or a mid laner who's not stacking much HP. You actually 100-0 them because you knock them up, hit them with the Everfrost, punch them a couple times with your E and your W ultimate or W E and then ultimate, and they die off your screen. It's a consistent gameplay pattern. Or if you're not very good at hitting Cho'Gath Rupture, you can like walk close to him, hit him with the Everfrost slow, and then knock him up. So you get more options in essence with the build.
yep,
And you still get 6,000 HP at the end of the game.
yep. It's
I think it's good.
I think if someone's terrified and stuff of playing anybody who is squishy in the game and stuff, I think Cho'Gath is really a really good viable option for mid lane. That is.
Yes.
Next, we have Silas. Silas is hard. Silas is hard because in certain matchups and stuff, he is like one of the most overpowered champions that I can face.
Yes. Yeah, Silas has decent lane phase. Um, for melee champions, pretty decent. He's able to gap close. He has sustain. He has the Q. Kind of get the CS. The thing with Silas is I think he is a red side fifth pick or a blue side 4-5 pick. He's a counter pick master. You draft ultimate engage champions or people who only rely on their ultimate, he will just take it and use it better than you.
Yeah.
So I think in certain games he's broken as fuck based off who you draft. But I think it's a very good pick. I think top of good shit is where he belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even talk about this next champion because that's how bad I think this champion is.
I think you don't play this.
Huh?
I think you don't play that champion.
I don't. I've tried. I
No,
actually
no, no,
tried.
no. I mean, like, no, in the don't play this category.
Oh yeah, yeah. I understand. I put him above Azir because I think Azir is really bad right now. But
Yeah, yeah. I don't think the Azir buffs are gonna bring him back.
nope. But why I think this champion is so bad and dog shit right now is like if you are in the top like 0.01%, right, and you play this champion, or if you're fucking probably like Diamond 1 or higher and you main this champion, it's probably fucking good for you, right? But if you
Respect
don't,
to Kiana mains that are actually good to champion.
yeah, but if you
Respect
don't
to
play
them.
this champion, if you don't play this champion and you say, "Oh, I'm gonna try this champion out," you're gonna be dog shit.
Yeah, you are.
This champion sucks. Don't play it. That's enough said about that. And then we have Fizz. Now, I don't care for Fizz. I don't like Fizz. So, Michael can tell me where he wants to put it because I don't like him at all.
Yeah, I think Fizz is is very similar to Echo and how he functions inside the game. His lane phase is really hard. You gotta know a lot of matchups. You gotta time your trickster well enough to avoid damages or get in there. But you hate getting into a trickster because that's your most damaging ability. It will outdamage your ultimate in the late game. And then you have to hit this ultimate, which is hard. So I think if you want to play Fizz, you gotta really know your melee and the range matchups. And for most people, and for the champion's power level right now, I think he's an average Joe. I think I have the number one Fizz NA play on my friends list, and he's challenger every season on Fizz, and he says the champion's hard, and I trust him. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about Fizz.
That's fine. I won't. Yeah, this one. All right. So I kind of want to pick this guy up. But Jace. Now I think he is here. I want to be honest with you.
Okay.
There's not much that someone can do.
Are we sorting these from left to right off the jump?
Yeah.
You think Zed is higher than Ori? I think Ori's like pretty high up there.
I was talking about the potential of someone who knows how to play her, but
I think just like in general, I think her gameplay pattern's pretty easy to play. You're right. Yeah, if you can't hit skill shots, the champions not as great.
yeah. But so Jace, I think Jace thrives in a lot of like in mid lane. I think he's really fucking good, right? If you're playing against someone who's ranged, like say you're playing Jace, you're playing against someone who's ranged, right? You could play like super safe, super passive and stuff, and just try to poke them out of lane and stuff, and try to get that first strike off. Or if you're playing against someone like Yasuo, Yone, Zed, and stuff, you can always alternate. Granted, it's not the easiest champion to play, but you can alternate between both stances. And if you're alternating between both stances and stuff, you are going to absolutely shin stomp this fucking lane. You are. I'll be honest. I played against a Jace. I played against him when I was playing Gangplank. Man, playing against a good Jace fucking sucks. Fucking sucks.
So, I think Jace is probably the hardest champion, one of the hardest champions to put on tier lists, because of the skill floor to the skill ceiling. And I think the generalized skill floor for Jace is actually pretty low. His kit is pretty self-explanatory for the most part. You read the abilities. Oh, hammer form, I go melee, I do a slam dunk. And then I have a knockback for getaway potential. And then when you range form, like, okay, I shoot the big ball. If it goes to the gate, it does more damage. And for generalized settings, if you're scared in your matchup, you can just sit in range form.
Yeah.
And if anyone tries to hop on you, you just go melee form, punch them away from you, and you get out.
Yep.
And you can play it really safe, really slow.
Yes.
You don't need to look like the Korean Jace players or the Chinese Jace players that jump between forms mid-fight and then, like, one-shot someone or,
Absolutely.
live with 100
the
HP.
Fuck out of people, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You can play it much slower, and you have a much calmer game, and you can still get work done.
Yeah, so I would put him up here and stuff because people I feel like who are actually playing Jace are people who either main him or are already good at the game and stuff. They can understand his potential. Those are the only people I see who play Jace.
Not a lot of people want to pick up this champion.
No, not a lot.
Because you have two forms, but realistically, both forms are pretty easy to pilot.
Yeah.
It's just the micro intensity between the forms, and
Yeah.
if you don't know, when you activate range form on Jace, you get bonus attack speed, but when you're in hammer form, your auto attacks deal more damage. So like the really good Jace players know how to like cycle through the range abilities, get W active on, while they're switching to hammer form and dunking on you. So when they land with the slow, they hit you 3 times really fast, and that's how they deal a lot more damage than your Jace normally does. But it's hard to do. It takes time and practice to really pull off. Yeah.
And then next we have Pantheon. I'll keep this one short and simple. He's really good in the early game and stuff like that, and he becomes a stun bot later in the game, but kind of dog shit.
Yeah, so half of my collegiate team is going to hate me for putting him in the average Joe category. We've had a lot of success on Pantheon mid in our time, but I am not very fond of this champion unless you have a strategic plan to play around him. We always use his ultimate as a roaming tool and to always be first, or like counter gank objectives or counter gank a bot lane dive or something like that. So I think in competitive play you can use it more effectively, like in higher levels of play. But in generalized cases, his lane phase is pretty weak. Everyone knows you're going to one-shot them, and similar to Talon, if you play mid lane, you just know he can one-shot you, and you don't let him do it. And then if he doesn't get the money to get the 3 items or level 11 quickly, where you can cut your armor pretty fast, he's not very viable.
No.
In most cases.
Next we have is Galio. So I have a was saying that Galio is just really fucking good in mid lane. If you here's this we say Gragas and stuff, it's actually the same thing as Gragas, but I think it's a lot more easier and more annoying to play against than Graggy Boy. Especially the fact that
I really like where you put him, by the way.
right below Silas.
Yeah, I really like where you put him.
Oh, you agree with it?
I do, 100%.
Okay, well, enough said.
I like you're saying, similar to Gragas, his lane phase is easier to play out. Galio will like straight up win matchups he's supposed to win, and then lose matchups he's supposed to lose.
Yeah.
He's pretty black and white in that sense, and I think that's good for him. Yeah, I think most people can just pick up Galio and play him in the game and be like, man, this champion doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Aurelia after that. Honestly, I think Aurelia in mid lane. Alright, so Aurelia in top lane and stuff, we put her up in a better shit and stuff. But if we're talking about mid lane potential, I'm gonna have to go with this.
Certainly for the broad scope of players, absolutely. If again, this is a high elo champion, it's
It'd be a little higher. It'd be up higher.
It'll be higher if you can use the Q to dodge abilities while getting your stacks and cutting distance. Then you can do a lot of work. But the stun's hard to land. You gotta upkeep the stacks in lane to deal your damage, and you can't just straight up ulti someone and all in them without any stacks built up, because it's really hard to outdamage somebody all in without the prep work. So you gotta know some champion knowledge and matchup knowledge for that champion.
Yeah, especially if, because you're thinking about you're playing mid lane, right? Against an Aurelia, most of the time you're playing against someone who can either CC you or slow you or put an effect on you and stuff like that, and that really that's really hard to come against and stuff. Like when you're playing Aurelia, it's not fun. It's like it's like Yone or Yasuo. I think those two and stuff are a little bit better in the mid lane than Aurelia is. But if you CC Aurelia in the mid lane, yeah, it's gonna be a little harder to kill. She has a little bit more health. She's made for more top lane. She's got the stats for that. But it's easy to keep her off you if you have something in your kit that's a good CC.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
And we have Gangplank.
Gangplank broken as fuck inside the video game. He's probably
Dude,
he's just insane. I don't know about this champion.
I
They gave him so much free money inside the game. You're incentivized to farm with the extra money, and then you hit level 13. You're now pseudo range champion. You're never meleeing someone unless the fight's already won, or you're one shotting them with 500 damage, true damage, auto attack. You can play this champion and not hit a single barrel and top damage on the entire team. Yeah. This champion does a lot of work.
So, fun fact, before we go on to the next champion, I just want to say this, like, why this is so broken and stuff like that, especially, like, early game. So, if you're farming and stuff, and, like, you're just playing the game to get a little bit of CS and not die and stuff, say you're playing against, like, Syndra, for example, like, you don't have, like, you auto, like, the melee minions and stuff, just dodge between, try to dodge everything, and, like, you're just queuing, for, like, the minions also. By level 5, you should have 700 gold, especially if you're going first strike and stuff. If you go Futures Market, you can go a little bit earlier. But you should have Sheen by level 5. You come back to lane after you have Sheen. All you have to do is just put a barrel down, smack it twice, stand there, last hit minions.
There, I love it.
Last hit minions, and if they walk close enough to even try to do anything, you just queue them. If you queue them 3 times, they no longer can walk up to you with Sheen. And especially after you waited and you queue them 3 times, you're most likely going to be level 6 at this point. If they even try to go in on you or try to do something, throw a fucking barrel down on top of them, ult them, run at them, and you just kill them.
if you can
It's
play weak side gangplank with a barrel underneath your tower, they can't walk up to you. It's hard for them to contest you. If you can hit them with a clean barrel, like one in lane with the Sheen proc, they don't want to walk up to you ever again.
yeah. If you come back level 5 and you hit a barrel on them with a Sheen proc, that is half their health.
And then also when they buffed the passive to give it more base damage, it's harder for champions to even walk up on you and try and take space in your face.
Oh yeah.
You can usually out trade them.
So fun thing is, right? You're playing against a Yasuo, so this is what I like to do. I learned this from Solar Baka. So
Shut up.
shut up.
Baka enjoyers.
So the thing is, like, you come back to lane and stuff. Say it's Yasuo, he's pushing. Just put a fucking barrel down. Just put it down. See what he does. Right? He walks close to it. Auto him. Hit the barrel. Cue the barrel. Auto him again. That's a double proc on a passive.
If you gangplank works every time you blow up a barrel, your passive cooldown gets refunded and your sword's now on fire again. So you can hit them with the 2 damage, hit the barrel, hit them again with the 2 damage.
Yep.
It's really effective.
And if they don't die, which they're gonna be super fucking close and stuff, especially with the Sheen proc on the barrel, all you have to do is ignite, walk it down, walk them down. They flash, don't matter. You have Q.
Now, I think gangplank is similar to Akali, where you're gonna need a couple of games on the champion to really get the rotations.
A couple.
Okay, I mean, like, you're gonna need to play champion several times to really get the rotations. But once you understand the base fundamentals of these champions, you can hold it down. You can get a lot of work done. Now, you're gonna have to play hundreds of hours of gangplank to look like Baka and triple chain combo. We're not even talking about the triple chain combos or the ghost barrels
Nope.
that you can do on this champion.
Nope.
Or
Simple
someone, like,
barrels.
simple barrels, this champion's still nuts.
Simple barrels. Dude, I have played almost 100 games on Gangplank this year alone. And I still don't, I still miss on my ghost barrels. Still, to this day. I can do a triple barrel. That shit don't bother me. But a ghost barrel, you got me fucked up. But, yeah. It's super hard to master and stuff, but like,
Yeah, Gameplank's just the most played. I just checked.
right now.
All time based off champion points.
Oh. No. No, it's not. Nico is, you dumb shit.
No, you're third.
Oh.
You're third. Not
Okay.
your first. It's okay.
I miss here. Alright, then we have
so,
Lux. This one's really simple. It's like Ari. That's
I think
it.
it's
That's average Joe, dude.
average Joe.
Dude,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you are missing shit, you can't
you're
play
not
the
a
game.
champion. Yeah, you're just not a champion. He's pretty consistent though in lane. You got pretty good harass.
Yeah,
Your
that's
shield's unmissable on yourself. I think you never see Lux anymore because Lux support hundreds of those people and it's much less
yeah, but that's Lux
damaging
support.
to miss the Q.
It's
Well, in mid lane, if you miss these 1cc, like Anivia too, if Anivia misses the Q, she can get ran down on, she can get pressured. It's similar to Lux. I like Lux and average Joe. Actually, I think in the mid lane she doesn't thrive as much. I think support she thrives heavy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll leave that at that. Lysandra. I know someone who would hate me for this.
I know too. He'd flame you. I don't think it belongs in Don't Play This. I think it's actually a very solid pick. I played it a few times recently.
Yeah, tell me about it then.
I'll tell you about it. Yeah, I actually think it's more consistent and more reliable than all the average Joe champions.
All right, we'll go with what you say then.
And I think she gets a good mobility. Your wave clear is actually a lot nicer than you think it is. On the Lost Chapter approaches, I was 100 to 0ing the melee minions as well as the range minions. I had a really good wave clear. If I want to use the E, if not, I can just QW the backline and it's really healthy and I can sustain my lane. It's hard to kill me. I think for anyone trying to pick up mid lane, Lysandra just more complex Annie with less reward.
Mm. I like that. I like that. Lucian, we're gonna go into this tier.
Yeah, I think for the average player, it's hard to pull off the Lucian mid. You may see it in pro play once in a while because it is the strong lane bully, and with the dash, they're really good at dodging the big abilities like Ori Charm. He can dodge it really consistently at the higher levels, and it's hard for those type of matchups to play into Lucian. He gets a lot of pressure and value. But for the average player, if you're not looking for those opportunities to go in and you're not using it to dodge or bait abilities, you're just not going to get much done. You're going to E into him, you're going to get stunned, and you're going to die. So yeah, I think it's harder to rate that champion in lower divisions, but yeah, I think it's average Joe.
I think
Most
it's
cases.
I think it's pretty solid right there.
Actually, even in pro play, I don't see him doing insane amount of work. He just really there to always have to shove and allow the jungler to play the game a lot easier.
And you know what? Maybe because I just suck at this champion, but I'm doing this the same thing.
Now that champion, I think, is a good shit. It can be at the bottom of good shit.
Oh.
I actually think it's very nice to play at the moment.
Oh, it's way at the bottom.
From my experience on the block, you put it at the bottom. I think it's similar to Lissandra,
You
where
hurt
it's
my
hard
soul.
to get impact.
You
I hurt your
my
soul?
My soul cries. My soul,
Your soul
cries.
cries. You hate LeBlanc.
My soul cries.
Dude, I think LeBlanc is actually better Shaco, in my opinion.
My soul cries harder now.
I think it's better Shaco in like competitive play and higher up levels.
Oh yeah,
Play.
yeah. Okay, if we're talking like that, yeah. Kennen. We're gonna do Kennen to this tier. I don't think about
Yeah.
in mid lane.
I'm with you. Too much. You gotta know too much about Kennen and about the matchups so it'll be useful in mid lane. You don't have guaranteed CC. You need to set yourself up. It's really hard to set yourself up against these champions without much knowledge or finding creative angles to do so. And most time you're gonna be stuck in lane Q farming. You're gonna have a bad time.
Yep.
So don't do it
Don't do it.
unless you're a Kennen player. Then Kennen can do work in the mid, but it's harder than top.
Yep.
For sure.
We're gonna go into Kale. We're gonna do this. Actually, we'll do this. I think Kale's a really good champion right now. That's not what I'm saying. I think Kale's a really good champion right now, but I don't think it's good for the mid lane. I think it's good for the top lane.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so I'm a huge Kale enjoyer. I've thought about it's like playing Kale a lot and like Kale one trick potentially. I'm a big fan of this champion. But for mid lane, in most top lane matchups, you lose lane. You have to get level 6 to trade and sit in lane reliably. And I think 90% of matchups you're gonna be under your turret and your jungler is gonna be screaming, "Why can't I ever get a crab?" or "Why are they at my blue buff?" Because you pick Kale. And if you're gonna play Kale, you gotta be really good at the game. Nemesis isn't Korean servers challenger played a lot of Kale, and he made it work. But I think for most people, it's gonna be a struggle to actually find the benefit. Well, I think Cast in the other 16 champion has better lane matchups and can probably do more inside the lane than Kale can. Yeah, so I'm with you. I think Kale does have a chance to be broken AF if she hits 16, and she has the ability to get 3 items or 4 items.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially with the new ultimate and stuff.
The
100%.
rework on her ultimate, they brought back so the original Kale ultimate, she could ult herself or allies, and she could keep hitting. And they brought that back. After a small delay of her ultimate, you can now auto attack while still invincible. So that means you can stand in front of their entire team and still kill their AD carry. It's incredible. So I think it's much better. Yeah. Like Catalina. I like it. I like it right there.
So Katarina is good. It's not that I think that she's not good or could be in better shit and stuff. It's just that some people are just too scared to play against Katarina and think that she's so overpowered, but in like reality and stuff, she's pretty fucking easy to kill. She is.
Yes.
Like,
It's real easy to. It's also she's easy to kill. It's real easy for her to mess up.
Yep. And it's super, like, obviously, like, she can obviously get away and stuff from you and stuff like what she can dash to her minion and just flash out and stuff, which is fine. Like you count the flash, you count. She's gonna miss that wave. She's gonna miss the next wave and stuff. But like you could just do that on repeat. You'll be level 12. She'll be level 10, level 9. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated.
And just don't fight her on her daggers. Don't let her take the trade she wants to trade.
Yeah.
Her cooldowns are long. Her Q cooldown's long. Her W cooldown's really long, and she has to pick up the daggers to keep up.
W is 20 seconds, if I'm correct, and the Q at level 1 is like 12 seconds.
It
15?
feels like 12 seconds.
I don't know. It's long as shit, though. Heimerdinger
The Dogger,
kind of fucking sucks.
I agree. Don't play this. Maybe an average Joe. I don't know. I like the Dogger as a champion. I just don't think he has a good spot.
I think he's better than he's better than all the other ones on this
Yeah,
part.
no, I think so too. I think Azir could be higher in the don't play this category if you really want to get technical about it. I don't think he's the worst mid laner
Fine.
in the game.
Castlewin.
Castlewin.
No, fuck Heimer. I don't want to even talk about him.
Yeah, don't talk
Castlewin.
about Heimer, yeah. Castlewin. I'm a big fan of Castlewin.
Especially on hit. Castlewin.
Oh, for sure. My Quitidin. My quit to win.
Fuck you.
Cassidin build that doesn't work. Yeah.
It doesn't work, dude. You
Yeah,
tried
don't,
so hard to convince me and Drake
Yeah,
that it
don't
worked.
ever play Quit Cassidin. I've done the testing for you all. It does not work.
Dude, he
Go
ran it
full
fucking
AP.
down. He ran
Yeah,
it down
I may have
so
done some
hard.
hinting in our lobbies. It was funny, but play full AP Cassidin, and like you can kill people at level 6 if they misstep. 11, you can start forehanding on people, and we all know level 16 Cassidin, just GG. The whole game now revolves around can we kill the Cassidin before he kills 2 of our carries in half a second. And this champion, really good into a lot of the mages. He's the counter mage by design. He takes less magic damage. He has a shield. He stops channels. And he usually nowadays he seems to be able to survive the lane phase a lot better, especially with a lot of ages coming back. Big buff to him, huge buff. The extra level on Rod of Ages, as well as the stats. He loves the stats. The Archangel's buff, same thing with Anivia, really brought his power level higher. And I think he's just quite really good in the game. And if you like Cassidin or think about picking up Cassidin, I think now's the time. I don't see him getting much stronger from this point on, because he's really, really up there.
Now this is controversial. I'm going to put this where I'm going to put it. I'm going to leave it there. You have no say in this matter. Okay?
We're gonna leave it?
You have no say in this matter right here, right? This karma pick, you have no say in this. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know.
For what? What, like, you think it's support karma or is it full AP karma?
It don't matter. It does not matter.
It does not matter? You think she's that unmovable inside the mid lane?
I think the way that she can poke, the sustain, the shield, she can literally push out almost anybody in lane. And she doesn't fucking die. It's that fucking good.
I think it's that good in lane phase, but like after lane phase, I think it's more comp reliant on how you can play the champion.
I mean, yeah, out of lane phase is gonna be more like team reliant. Obviously, like the entire game's gonna be more team reliant out of lane phase. But it, like what? Even if you're pushing the lane, pushing a side lane, fighting with the team, you have your ult shield, you have your ult Q, ult W. If you need to see somebody, ult W. You need to shield somebody, shield them. It's basically like you're going full AP or you're going like a hybrid build and stuff. You're still fucking really good. It's like Zilliant. You're still gonna be really fucking useful for the team. You're never not gonna be useful. You're gonna poke. You're gonna do a lot of damage. You're gonna shield people like 80 carry. It don't matter and stuff. You're gonna run circles around the enemy team, and you literally will become unkillable. It's that fucking good. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I know what you're saying. I think she's that good in theory. I think in the actual game, I don't see that kind of game impact from Karma.
What do you mean, dude? Michael.
I'm
Michael.
telling you, I do not see her having more game impact than the other champions in better shit. I think, in theory, she's a very well. She's the all-arounder kind of champion. You want damage, she can poke. You want a lockdown, she has a lockdown. It's really you can never kill her in a real sense. She's highly mobile with the shield movement speed. Um, when it comes to like the actual game, how it plays out, I think you you think you should be stronger in lane than you are. Her numbers are lower because she does so many different things. Um, I could see her very solidly in the good shit. I don't think she actually has that much overall game impact
You're not changing my
in most
mind.
cases.
You're not changing
I'm
my
not
mind.
changing your mind.
Yeah, my foot is down, brother. My foot is down. I never played this shit in Clash, my guy. And absolutely wrecking kids and running the game. This is... Dude,
I'm gonna let everyone know who's watching this video. We are going to agree to disagree. My opinion is going to be Karma is probably at Galio level. Because she kind of does it all and she's pretty decent. When it comes to overall game impact, I don't see her taking over. I don't see her winning the games for her teams.
no, she's
in
never
most
gonna
cases.
take over the game. That's not the point of her being up that high. Her being up that high is not to take over the game. Her being up that high is basically to auto shove her lane, have so much prio, and get everybody else ahead. That's why she's up that high.
Okay. I can kind of see it. But I don't see her higher than good shit.
Hey,
in
it's
my
fine if you don't like it, alright? My opinion's right, yours is wrong, remember?
Right, we can agree on that. Now you put Karma so high, but you're gonna put my wonderful champion Oriana in the average Joe tier.
Dude, I don't think she's good right now.
I think yeah, you're probably right. In most cases, she's actually not that good, especially piloted by the average player. Oriana is someone you should never pick up. I only picked her up because people actively told me I was not good enough to play her, and I put probably hundreds of games into this champion in my time playing
Dude,
League.
it is
Uh,
not good right now.
This champion is actually really good the better you are at the game. She's a consistent pick in pro play. She's always been an option in pro play. You know, the utility she provides.
It's
The
like
problem,
Porky and Azir, but you can actually play this champion in a ranked game and do well.
yeah. No, I think Oriana, she gets ahead of the game pace. Especially since her being a solo laner, she can actually pump a lot of damage. She can compete with Diana level damage if she has a lead. She has a good ball placement, but there's so many conditions the champion has to meet to take over the game. Um, and to like, she has really good lane. And then outside the lane, it's pretty team aligned, or you're gonna have to be very creative with the ball. Yeah. So she's an average Joe, I think. Yeah.
So where would you put Ziggs? I don't really see him as a mid laner that much anymore. I only see him as support.
Okay, me myself as an active Ziggs player, I think he is in better shit below Zed. I think this guy's lane phase is absolutely crazy. You can't push this guy out of lane, uh, unless you're playing like LeBlanc and you're good at hitting your rotations. If you're not, I was solo killing this D2 LeBlanc play the other day, throwing her under my turret with my satchel because she had poor placement. So you're pretty safe. You got get out abilities. Your wave clear is insane, and your team fight is really good. I think the items are very favorable to Ziggs at the moment too. So we got a big buff with the Archangel's changes. Yeah, and you can build loot into Liandry's. You get options inside the game. And I think it's very healthy. And the way he destroys your turrets, he's the fastest turret killer in the game, like consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Olaf with 1 HP. Ziggs is like really good team play, solo queue. I think Yelena roams, you get 2 plates. If he roams twice, you take the turret. very consistent thing that happens inside the game. So you can force feed yourself gold. You roam, kill someone in the side lane. You go take their turret with them. I think it's big value. A highly consistent champion.
Now this one's hard. I would like to put this champion up here in good shit, but at the very end, because in like reality, the champion by itself is not that good. The only reason why I would potentially put it somewhere is because the stuff that's in this kit, the silence, like the silence is not good for, or his Q is not good for damage or anything like that. It's just pure silence, and then his ultimate.
His Q doesn't with Malzahar. You're usually not going to build the Ludens into Shadow Flame and one shot someone, which makes his Q obviously does less damage. When you have full build of Malzahar, his Q is going to hit for like 700 damage. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
At full build, but most of the time, he's going to be a wave clear bot. He's going to dominate the objectives. He is like, I don't want to say he's the fastest objective killer in the game.
No, I think Asol's actually
He's
fast enough.
up there. Asol, Vayne, and Malzahar, they're all in the same tier on how fast you can kill Baron or Dragon.
Yeah.
They dominate the objective control. His lane phase is pretty good, but yeah, on his own, he struggles. Handful of matchups. He actually does get pushed out of lane sometimes. Against certain matchups, they can really bully him.
Yep.
Because he can't trade back as effectively. But I do think he's a very good. I think he's a good champion. He's good. I think he's good right now. If you can get out of the lane phase, he does a lot of work.
That's a simple for me.
I agree. I think Zoe has really been hurt from her consistent amount of nerfs, especially when last season they found out Zoe played support was really good. They really scaled her back and more than what she already was. And I think her best role is probably in the support. It's in the support position, no doubt in my mind, actually.
Yep.
Than in the mid lane position, and that sucks for her champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But I think she did have her time in the sun of the one shot and picked in pro games and team comps that Zoe should not have been picked in.
Yeah,
so I think she's had her time in the sun, and now it's time for other champions to come out and flourish more. But right now she doesn't have much impact. She doesn't one shot you. She needs a lead, and her lane phase is less dominant than it once was.
Yep, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the boy Rock Solid.
Now, I will argue that Rock Solid might be in the don't play this section. Because I have a strong opinion on Malphite, and I hate Malphite support players. As an AD carry main, do not play Malphite support. You are useful every 2 minutes, and until level 6, you're not useful at all. So, don't do that in the support category. I think it's really bad. Yeah, I think when you play mid lane Malphite, you're probably going full AP, and you're only useful once every 2 minutes.
Yep.
And I think every other champion is much more useful, like every 30 seconds.
And then now, I'm gonna do some fun shit.
I agree. I like it in good shit.
I think Ornn is very underrated as a mid laner. I used to play that shit all the fucking time. And not a lot of things actually beat Ornn in the mid lane. There are some who beat it, like Cass. Cassiopeia beats the shit out of Ornn. But like a lot of things don't. Right? All you have to do is like build one resistance, either it be like Negatron Cloak or I forget what the armor thing is called.
Chain Vest?
Chain Vest, yeah. Chain Vest. And like you literally become unkillable to them for the first 10 minutes if you don't build anything else. Like it's really fucking good.
I agree.
And especially because they can't knock you out of the lane and stuff, you can basically auto clear waves better than Galio and Gragas and stuff if you're going the beefier build with both of them and stuff. And the fact that you can build full tank and smack a Sylas or Katarina or whoever on this list for about 1/3 of their HP with Brittle and Grass, it's just insane. It becomes unplayable for the enemy. Like anybody who's playing Assassin on this team, on their team, and facing an Ornn in mid lane, it becomes unplayable for them. Ooh. Now this one's hard.
Oh, I have a very solid opinion about this champion.
Alright, where do you think he is right now?
I think you don't play this champion.
Ah, good. Yeah, I like
I think you
this.
just don't. This champion has been nerfed time and time again. And you play this champion, you deal no damage. You are crying inside. Your break points on the minion waves is actually lower than it was before. You actually may need the full completed Roa to actually kill your backline minions and like be able to sustain the lane. Unless you want to blow all your mana on the wave, which is what a lot of Rise players do. And they try to play with the AoE spread and get pressure in the lane. And sometimes that's not even like, it doesn't seem that doable, not consistent. You lose lane, your late game scaling seems nerfed. You gotta be level 16 on this champion, and then it feels like you deal damage. But then, like, why am I waiting 16 to play the game? I could have played anyone else. Casting 16 spikes much better. Kill spike 16 much better. This champion feels god awful to play, and the amount of time you need to put in the champion to actually make him effective doesn't make it worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
On this patch, I think Riot loves this champion, and he's gonna come back. They love this champion. This is like one of the bread and butter champions. Um, I think sometime he's gonna get buffs, and he's gonna be
And they
probably
usually buff him around when
he,
the
Worlds comes
yeah
around.
Worlds comes around, and then they
Yeah,
fucking nerf him again.
and then he usually sits around good shit for most players. And then if you're like Masters Plus, he's probably in better shit when he gets the numbers tuned, when he's actually able to run team fights.
Yep.
And right now we can't run a team fight, and he can. I don't even think he can run his own lane. So every reason you pick this champion, he does not check the boxes for everyone plays champion.
Uh, Twist of Fate.
What the what? What is your opinions on Vigar?
I don't want to say it. Where do you think Vigar goes?
I'm gonna tell you, I think he's bottom tier better shit.
Okay.
I
Next,
think this guy is crazy.
Twist of Fate.
Just the fact that this guy's an average Joe champ every day of the week.
Yeah.
He's only average Joe because he has a lock-on stun card and the global teleport. And I think anyone can probably play the champion. You don't deal any damage on this champion. You're not going to carry. You're going to be a utility carry. You're going to... And to actually make the champion be in the good shit category, you gotta know how to counter gank and play the map. In most cases, you're not going to do much, and it's a stun bot for your team.
Yep. Sad days.
Which yeah, sad days with my TF boy.
Sad days. Victor.
What's your thoughts on Victor?
I think Victor's good right now. I think a couple patches ago and stuff. I think, and even like at the end of last season, he was so fucking good, so fucking good. I think he is still in better shit.
I agree.
I'd probably put him here, right below Cassidy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably do this. But I would probably put him right here.
Yeah, no, I think Victor's really insane. Arcane buffs still feel nice on him. The change on his passive to not be gold but to be tied to your minions and how good you are
Yep.
at the champion, it's very consistent to get that double E.
Mhm.
And once you get that E upgrade, you're zooming through your stacks, and now you get a Rallies on this champion with all the upgrades, and he does a lot of damage. Lane phase has always been, you know, top tier, S tier lane phase champion. So when you tie that with a champion with an insane late game, he's gonna be good.
Yep. I agree. I agree. I think he's still good right now. I think he's on a downhill for some reason, but I still think he's
I think
good.
people got bored of playing him.
That could be it.
He's not the most exciting champion to play,
No.
but he's very consistent. He's really good at your robotic kind of player, and you like to perfect your craft in that sense and play the same game every time. He's really good at that.
Now I think Vex is a very interesting one. I don't think she's good, but I don't think she's bad. I would like to put her around this tier, right at the end of good shit. But sometimes I also think she's right here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say I think she is top tier of average Joe. In most cases, I think this champion's numbers are not where they need to be for her to be what she wants to be.
I think she
wants
needs a
to
little
be
bit of
that
buff.
Ori. that flies across the map and one shot somebody. That's what she wants to do. And
Yeah.
I think if she's just going to be a team fight disruption champion, her shield needs to be bigger. Her field range probably needs to be bigger on that ability. And I think if you're playing Vex, just play Annie.
Yeah. I think her AP scaling needs a little fix. Anything it needs to be buffed a little bit. But I think if it
Maybe.
was, it'd probably be up here. Realistically, I think it would be.
Yeah.
Vlad. I don't have a high opinion of Vlad. I think endgame Vlad and stuff, if you actually know how to play him, he could be up here, right?
Oh, for sure.
But
I think, yeah, I think Vlad in the hands of a Vlad Master player is like better shit. I think for most players, he's gonna be in the good shit category. I think you put him really well. In the mid lane, he gets this unique thing. You can ward your Raptor camp and just heal yourself. It's crazy, but you can do it. So if you're in a terrible matchup and your Raptor camp is up, you sit there and you heal full under your turret.
god damn it, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I'll tell you the Vlad tech right now. So, like in his worst matchups, you can usually just sustain behind your tower for until your jungler takes it, obviously. But if they're up, you can just sit there and sustain the full, and you can walk back out there and play the game. I think at 2 items, this champion really starts to pop.
Yeah.
But you got to get there first. And if you're okay with playing that slow style early game and not dying, you can really make this champion pop. His ultimate's really insane. He gives your entire team damage buff. That's cool. And then you basically can't die if you play the champion well.
Now I kind of want to put these two, the next two, Xerath and Vel'Koz, do them at the exact same time because I think they're very similar champions, but I think one's better than the other in mid lane.
I think Xerath is better than Vel'Koz.
Oh, I was gonna go the opposite way.
I think Vel'Koz has higher potential, but he's a lot harder to play. And I think Xerath is more consistent of a champion. But I think, yeah, I think they're average shows.
And then, well, because I was gonna actually put Vel'Koz there and then Xerath down here, but I think I'm gonna do this.
I think they're very similar. I think Vel'Koz does deal more burst damage and like has way more team fight threat. Xerath is one of those champions where if you don't miss an ability, you're gonna win the game.
Hacks.
That's what I think.
Hacks, scripting, scripter.
Yeah, that's why all the scripter players are playing Xerath. Because if you don't miss on this champion, you have so much pressure, so much threat. But if you don't hit the abilities, you're Lux. You don't do anything.
And I think I want to do the next two also together, but they're very different. I'm putting one higher than the other. So
Okay. I think Yone is higher than Yasuo.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Yasuo belongs right there, and I think Yone belongs right here.
I can see it. I agree.
I think Yasuo. What the fuck am I saying? I think
you also.
Yasuo, bro. I think Yasuo is just. I don't know. I just.
Yeah. So I have a very strong opinion about the Wind Brothers, aka the Wind Shitters. People may call them. Yasuo has a higher skill ceiling, and I actually think he can 1v9 games harder than Yone can.
No way.
At the higher level, yeah, I think Yasuo's potential is insane, especially if you draft a team around the Yasuo. But
yeah.
as an individual champion and how they function in mid lane, in most cases, Yone is significantly easier to play. He has usually more value than Yasuo in most cases, and then like this champion's so hard to move out of lane. He has so much threat. He has so much burst. Yasuo, Riot gave him a lot of love. They gave Yone a lot of love when they made the champion.
Yeah.
And I think as an independent champion, he does a lot more work than Yasuo.
And
And now in like competitive and team play environments, if you draft Diana Yasuo or Gragas Yasuo, Yasuo is the 1v9 threat and can pop off and dominate the game.
Yep, I agree with that. But as an average player and stuff, I think average player is gonna be more. It'd probably be better here. I think realistically, I think players who play Yasuo are more like this, But
See, the more Yasuo games you play, you drop lower on the list.
so this one's terrible. Um,
You think it's terrible?
I do. I think it's about here.
Oh, I think it is at least in the good shit. I like this champion in
In
the
the
mid
mid
lane.
lane?
Yeah,
Really? I think
I
Lucian's
think
better.
you.
I think Lucian's better.
See, I'm a big fan of Tristana when you rate like average levels of champions. You can put an average Joe. I think most times she doesn't actually do much. I think a well-played Tristana player is in better shit. I think the amount of work you can do in a champion inside the lane phase is crazy. You can burst people really fast. At level 2, level 3, your burst is crazy. So like you have a lot of free area to move. And then especially with Tristana as a solo laner, her attack range gets higher per level,
Mm-hmm.
and so the faster she can get levels, that the happier she is inside the game. And then pretty soon you're outranging every person in the game. At level 16 and plus, she actually has longer auto attack range than Caitlyn. So it does benefit her a lot to have the extra levels in the solo lane compared to other ADs.
And then we have Zillion. I don't think Zillion is good right now. Obviously, like his ult and his stun is really nice, but in lane phase, lining that shit up is not going to be the easiest.
Yes, if you're not a Zillion player, this champion is impossible. You do no damage even if you are a Zillion player.
Yep.
And unless you're Bjergsen, this champion's gonna be an average Joe. If you're Bjergsen, it's broken as fuck. Okay, he makes it look insane. He gets 5-man stuns. He reses his teammates on Q. But for the most cases, in average players, Zillion will one-shot the wave at Lost Chapter, which is nice for him. But you never have any kill threat. You can't poke and hit the wave at the same time at this champion. You're basically playing single player, which means you don't interact with your opponent. You just don't let him hit you and you try to kill the wave. In most cases. And your champion's never going to be a carry threat for your team.
Then what do you think of Nocturne?
Yeah, so I think Nocturne is a average Joe mid laner, even though I talked about putting him on this list. I think he's an average Joe mid at the bottom. Most cases. I think you can play out lane phase well with your spell shield, and then if you ever queue someone, you're gonna have more movement speed than them and run them down in the 1v1. Mainly I like him in the mid lane a lot for his ultimate utility. You can gank anywhere on the map. You can be anywhere. If you think your mid lane is roaming, you can also ult and turn off the lights and make their roam almost pointless as well. So there's a lot of things you can do with this champion. I think it's pretty easy to play. You're gonna struggle in lane phase a lot, but I think you're gonna have way more impact than most, like all the don't play champions.
Mm-hmm. And I might put Karthus above Brand. Simply because he functions very similar to Brand, where like all you want to do is just fucking walk into the enemy and basically nuke yourself, right? You're gonna play
He
for that.
kind of does it better in theory.
Yeah, in theory he kind of does it better, but like they function very very similar and stuff. I have to group them up. Granted, his ult is better than Brand's ult, but honestly, I'd probably put him above Kale. Now I'm thinking about it.
I think Karthus is a champion. You're gonna see him high on a bunch of tier lists because he's actually very strong inside the game. But if you can't hit the Q, your lane phase is gonna suffer heavily.
Yep.
And if you can't hit the Q in team fight, your damage is gonna lack.
Mm-hmm.
If we were talking like all hypothetical theory, I think Karthus is probably better shit. Maybe he's borderline broken AF. I think in theory right now inside the game, he has really good build path. He scales really well. His early game is insane.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hit Q.
Yep.
But for a generalized list of people, it's harder to hit Q than you think it is. You gotta manage your mana pretty well. And you gotta know when to die. You can't just die for no reason.
Yep.
And you have to die in good spots. So you gotta know what you're doing.
Yep.
And Karthus is like, you're gonna play 100 games and still not hit the Q as well as efficiently as you want.
I agree. Gwen, I'm gonna
Oh,
put
you
her.
put Gwen in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget it.
For sure.
You're gonna get rickrolled, based off the matchups, and you're never gonna be able to hit them. Only at level 6 can you close the distance in theory, and maybe kill someone. But I don't know, realistically, I'll see how
That's a
you
very
actually hit them.
hypothetical. In theory,
Hypothetical, right? In theory, before level 6, you can never touch these people in the mid lane. Maybe you can play into a Kali, and use your hands, but like it's gonna be really difficult. You're gonna have to be a good Gwyn player
Mm-hmm.
to play it.
And then Garen, I'm gonna do the Nocturne treatment.
Okay.
Because I think you're only playing Garen if you're playing against certain champions as a counter pick. Otherwise, he just kind of gets shit on by everybody else on this list. Because he can get outpoked. They can basically make him so he can't farm. Granted, he has that healing and stuff, right? But even if he tries to chase him down, there's not a lot of space between the mid turrets that they can actually just walk away for free. Especially if they're ranged.
Galen is like the Liu of League of Legends or the Mario of League of Legends. He's gonna be mid-tier average for most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But always semi-playable. You know, like you're gonna struggle in lane a lot. You're just gonna be clearing the way, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm Garen, but I play mid. It doesn't strike fear in the hearts of men. The Garen pick does not the Garen mid.
Now, I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not, but I think Cass is here. Cassiopeia.
Yes.
Actually,
So I'm with you. No, keep going higher. I'm with you. You want to keep going higher? I think Cassio is like borderline broken AF in mid lane right now. The items were so good to her. She was good beforehand, and the items just made her better. She's a freak in the game. Level 2 can beat
so
anyone
fucking
in the
good.
lane.
Dude, it feels like they buffed her fucking mana or something, dude. It's like, I remember like last season and stuff, right? I go in level 2, level 3 and stuff, and like I'm beating the shit out of people, right? I'm about to kill them and stuff. They walk on a turret, and then I look at my mana bar. I'm like, holy shit, it's gone.
The mana, I can't kill him.
I can't even farm anymore. But then I don't know, like now and stuff, it feels like you can actually go through successfully like punishing your opponent at level 2, driving them underneath turret, and you're still at half mana. I don't know. It's Cash just feels
And
really fucking good.
the E works exactly the same as any Q. If you kill the minion with the E, you get the mana refunded from the cast, so you can sit in lane for a long time
Mm-hmm.
and farm in assets. And if you're not good enough to hit the Q, that's fine. If you hit with the W, you can still hit the empowered E's, and it's a lot easier to hit. Your ultimate, if they're looking at you, hit them with the stun. If you stun someone with this champion at level 6, you're probably gonna kill them, even if you're at 100 HP. There's a world where you can lifesteal back and kill them at that low HP.
Yep.
She does so much damage. She seems pretty safe, and then like with a lot of ages changes, it's really nice. For her build path is
Yep.
insane. You're gonna get a lot of ages and the archangels and the allies. And what's next? You got options. You can go Hourglass, which she loves. Champion that can't buy boots, which she loves Hourglass. You can go Cosmic Drive, which is nuts because it gives her movement speed. And she already just moves faster than you at that point in the game anyway, so she
Mhm.
sticks to you forever with the allies. And then not even considering she's getting Death Cap of Void Staff
Yeah.
at 6.
Yeah.
So she has insane items. She has 7
it's
items.
super strong. It's
Yeah.
super strong. I don't know.
She scales really well. Her early game's nice. Yeah, I think it's crazy.
And then Seraphine's a bully. I'd probably put her up here.
I agree.
In terms of how strong and stuff, like she can definitely push you out of lane and stuff, and it'll be fine. Like it doesn't cost her that much, but like at the same time, if you get on top of her, she's dead.
Yes.
So it's very hit or miss.
I'm gonna rate her much higher in the AD carry position than I am in the mid lane position.
Oh, of course.
Because the way she works inside of that lane compared to this one.
Yeah.
Usually in the bot lane she's gonna outrange people. Here she's not gonna outrange you. She's not gonna outpoke you. against a handful of these mid laners. Like that's their job. Their
Mm-hmm.
job is range and poke, and she's not going to do that. She doesn't match burst,
Mm-hmm.
so I think she does struggle. She's really good. I think she scales really hard inside the game. Her items are great.
Yeah.
But the way she functions inside the lane and like compared to the other champions, on why you're picking a mid laner, um, she might be the best utility only mid laner at the moment. If you
Uh,
need like a utility mid, I
yeah.
think her and Karma, I think are top two easy. For that sense, but when it comes to like building her damage, she's not gonna burst anyone or outpoke most of these champions. So
Yeah.
I think she does struggle.
Now Syndra's unique with the new item, like the new.
Her mini rework
Yeah.
helped her.
It helped her a lot. I honestly think she's about right. Oh, about right here. About right there. Maybe because of the
Yeah,
items
actually,
and stuff.
I think yeah, I agree with you.
The items in this the mini were rework on her just getting the extra AP, the true damage, the second ball. I think it allows her to be a lot more spammy and it'll get more damage out. Her output is so much more compared to what it was. I think she's really strong right now. I don't like playing her, but I think she's really strong right now as a champion.
Yeah, so ever since Syndra was introduced into the game, she's always been a very solid laner. And then she's always been good in team fights with the zone control of her stun. Any amount of balls you can dish out. So I think she's really one of the most self-sufficient mid laners,
Yeah,
it
she
seems.
she she definitely smacks you with her balls.
Yes. The big balls that change color based off the skin. Sometimes the blue balls.
Michael gets blue balls when he plays against this champion.
Alright, so Swain, the champion that gives Zac blue balls.
100%, dude. You see his fucking hand, dude?
My gosh.
He shoved up my ass.
Shut up. You can stop talking. That's fine.
No, alright. Swain, I don't think he's really good in the mid lane right now. I really don't. I think he can. I think there's 80 carry and support. He's gonna do a lot better in. I think he even be better in the top lane, not the mid. So I probably put him right above Seraph, an average Joe.
So, I think Swain is probably a high average Joe champion.
You think he's higher than this?
Yeah, I think so. I think he does fine. I think he does okay inside the lane phase. His farming pattern's really good for him. And he kind of just sits in lane for an hour.
Yeah.
And then I think with the mid lane, Swain really likes to be ahead of the game pace.
Yeah.
And if he can get those levels, and if he walks into a team fight level 11, and most of the map is level 9, he's going to have huge value in that fight. Which is why a lot of the pro mid lanes are picking Swain when they're fighting over these objectives at these timers. And because he's a little bit ahead the game pace, and he's really strong when he's higher level than you and has some items.
Yeah, I mean, like in
I
team
think he's
fight,
really good zone of control. Yeah.
I think in team fight and stuff, especially like at that lower level, if he's level 11, everybody else is like level 10, level 9, even a couple level 11s, it don't matter and stuff. Like he's still gonna thrive just because of the fact that his Conqueror's gonna go fucking insane with his ultimate out.
If you are platinum below, I think Swain mid is quite good. I think it's good shit, for sure. I think in the higher levels, it can be really hard to grab them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna lose a lot of that pressure from the grab, and then you're just gonna get out pressured in lane. So as a generalized thing, I think most likely is doing average Joe. I think in the lower levels though, when your laners are not up in your face, contesting you for the minions, and they're not trying to bait your claw, you can actually get 10 CS per minute. You can show it to a team fight, higher level than everybody else in the game, and with an extra item because you're the solo laner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're just clapping them in the mouth.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, so that's our mid tier list by me and Mike.
Yeah, so this is the definite correct opinions about all the champions except for the karma pick. Everything else is
Fuck
exactly what it should
off.
be. And if you disagree with us, you are entirely wrong. And we will not be accepting any criticism for our decisions and our opinions.
God damn it, dude. Oh, God damn it.
I
No.
know everything about this game. I've read the source code. I've been in there. I know what goes down.
Yeah,
And if you disagree with me,
he's
well,
got.
you probably play wise. So
They play cinch mid.
they play Singe. No, if you're playing Singe mid, I hope you're Masters Plus, and you're probably kicking ass on it.
No, but I think this is actually a really good tier list and stuff. Obviously, if you guys have any things you guys would change and stuff, you guys can go ahead and leave it in the comments. Don't listen to Mike. But
No, please comment. I'll find you in there. I'll let you know when you're wrong.
But other than
Accept
that
all
and stuff,
criticism.
we still have bot lane and support to do, so you guys can check out that whenever it comes out. But this is our mid tier list. Obviously, Silco, best in the mid lane, and Gwen.
Best champion in the game. His
The worst.
passive makes the enemy nexus explode as soon as the game starts.
And Gwen is the worst, the absolute fucking worst mid laner.
Sure.
Obviously, there's a couple troll mid laners that we probably could have put in here and stuff, but this is more of the average.
Right.
Where you're gonna see more in the game, but
Be on the lookout for Fiddle Mid in the upcoming patches. It's getting a lot of popularity.
yep, fiddle
And
mid.
people are playing that. I think Lulu Mid can make a comeback. I think she's pretty fine and sustainable in the mid lane. But you're
Another
probably not
fun
gonna see
one.
it.
Xin Zhao. Honestly, Xin Zhao.
Personally, as an AD carry player, I think Sivir Mid has some merit. You just auto shove them in the turret and you play
Mhm.
single player the whole time, and then you get to play AD carry as a solo laner. And I've had good results with it,
And then you
but
have
everyone can have their own.
you also have the weird top laners that play mid, like Riven, Aatrox, Darius, but those are only counter picks to.
And
like,
shout out to LS. We didn't rank
Young.
Ivern and Soraka, but we all know the Z tier, but we didn't rank them.
nope, don't know them. Never heard of those champions. Never fucking heard of it. But yeah, other than that and stuff, this was our mid tier list and stuff. We'll be doing 80 carry next time.